Let's get some of the latest royal news right now with Rupert Bell, of course, our royal correspondent. Good morning to you, Rupert.
Good morning, Julia.
Always good to talk to you. Let's talk about King Charles. He's unhappy about a plan to honour him at Heathrow because, you know, we're all green and woke now.
Well, we do know that throughout his life he's had an environmental agenda. And I suppose if he is to have his Terminal 5 named in his honour, I suppose would be going against what he fundamentally believes in. It's a difficult balancing act. I believe, you know, terminals have been named in previous years after various monarchs. But I suppose he just feels it, given, while he doesn't want it to become a political talking point, and that's what he's got to be very mindful of, issues that we've discussed on this programme. So
yeah.
I think
what I love is, though, he's not turning it down. He's just making sure his aides called in the Prime Minister's office and say, look, can you tell the airport not to make us this offer? But again, this is the nonsense about all this eco stuff. And again, they're all complete hypocrites. Prince Harry's the worst. Prince William's pretty bad as well. There's constantly lecturing everybody and all, I don't mind some of these prizes that Prince William does. At least that's sort of looking at, innovation to try and help us get out of any economic, green mess we might be in. But when you've got King Charles, who has numerous huge homes, numerous cars, travels a lot of the time by private jet, saying, oh, but I don't want anything at the airport named after me because I don't want to be associated with flying. Oh, come on, it's a bit of a nonsense, isn't it?
I think this is the balancing act that he's having to negotiate, because clearly all these homes, and it's one of the issues that he has to resolve to make it a more streamlined and relevant monarchy.
Yeah.
Now, you can say that the flying, going by the Queen's flight, there may be legitimate security reasons for doing it. So I think you have to take some of it with a degree of sort of respect, and actually it's done for right, legitimate reasons. But clearly, to be seen to be flying everywhere by a Queen's flight or whatever, then that is a problem. And that's obviously one of the things that is endlessly levelled at Prince Harry, that he will immediately get onto a private jet if one is available. So this is the problem. For flying is a difficult area for the royal family to negotiate.
It only is when you're a hypocrite. That's the thing. Listen, if anyone wants to lend me their private jet any day of the year, I will be on it. I will live tweet the whole thing. Let's also talk about this new version of the King. King Charles III has been, well, he's been sculpted in marble and in bronze, and of course we have official portraits. Now he's been modelled in chocolate, made entirely of chocolates from celebrations, which I do love a celebration. It's been unveiled ahead of his coronation. An expert team of chocolatiers and model makers studied hours of footage of the King to capture his likeness. They melted down more than 17 litres of chocolate to inject into a mould, and now we have a bust, 23-kilogram bust of chocolate. I mean, I'd happily link the King in these scenarios.
Do you know, Julian, I'm not sure how I can follow that. But who's going to have the first mouthful? I mean, what bit do you go for?
I'm going to go for an ear. You want something good and meaty with, a good biteful.
And people say he has got quite large ears. So, but it's a very good likeness, and fair play to them. But, it does seem to me to be a waste of chocolate if you're not going to be able to eat it. Is it going to be left permanently on display somewhere? It might get a bit rancid in a year or so, but hopefully it is a pretty good likeness. But melting down as much chocolate as did, I suppose it's just all part of someone wanting to come up with something a little different.
Well, exactly.
But you're remember right. The coronation.
I'm reading down this, and at no point does it say what's going to happen to it. I hope it does happen. It's a sort of thing. If you don't have chocolate cakes for birthdays, and you have a kids' party, and you basically say, "Here you go, in you go," and they all go crazy. I'm thinking, take it to a children's home or something, and let everyone in primary school let them enjoy it. But I imagine they'll want to wait till after the 6th of May.
But are you showing disrespect to the King if you take it to, and then everyone's sort of clambering on it, smashing the chocolate head of the King? How does that?
Do you know what would have caused a big row if they'd made it out of white chocolate? Imagine what the wokerati would have had to say about that. Rupert, always a pleasure. Thank you very much indeed for joining us.